So this is a more advanced video, not necessarily for beginners. Some topics might be slightly more triggering. You have been warned. So, my first and most important finding is you are sitting with the urges. Sometimes you get some urges. It's inevitable. You're gonna have some time where you feel like you're not on your purpose. You've been slacking off in the gym, and you will get the hard urges that are very, very difficult to resist. I would classify them as a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, even 10 out of 10. When you sit with these urges, and I've actually gotten an urge like this during late December, while meditating, weirdly enough, I came to the realization that this urge is a feeling. It is an emotion, and that is the very specific emotion that you're trying to mask with the behavior of watching porn. That urge, that craving, it comes from whatever your situation is. In my case, it was desperation, it was loneliness, and it can come in many shapes and forms, but it always drives you to watch porn. That is the specific emotion that you're trying to hide, that you're trying to ignore, that you're trying to run away from. And now, I'm not saying you need to sit with this emotion, because if you're a beginner on NoFap, that might cause you to relapse. But what happened with me is, I sat with the emotion. I was already meditating, so it was very convenient. I did not need any type of dopamine source to balance it out. And funnily enough, it went away because I was able to identify that desperate loneliness I was feeling and really, really feel it and understand that my body feels this way, but my mind is on a different situation completely. And so that was probably the biggest finding. But a close second was the realization that you've heard this, you need 8 hours of sleep. You need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. But we have sleep wrong in our heads. When you're in bed, 85% of the time, you're not actually sleeping. Even though you're not conscious, you're not actually sleeping. And you can Google this as well. It's called sleep efficiency. It's an average of 80 to 85% in adult males. It's crazy that you need a lot more sleep than you think. If your sleep need is actually just 7 hours, because, I don't know, you have a lot of muscle, you have a lot of energy, you still need to sleep a lot more than just 8 hours. It's 8.5 or 9 hours you need to sleep in order to become actually well rested. And since I've started implementing this, what I've realized is if you rest completely, I don't need caffeine, and you won't need it. You don't need caffeine. You don't need to rest during the day. And obviously you will have better body composition and you will have less of a food coma after eating, which means you literally don't need to rest during the day. It's you can go almost all out if you don't drink coffee and your energy is not fucked up. Obviously, if you are a habitual coffee drinker, that's a different situation and a different topic for a later video. You calculate how much sleep you think you need. If you think you're a short sleeper, I only need 7 hours of sleep. Look at it. How much is 7 hours actually? If you sleep very efficiently, if you sleep 85% of the time, you will still need almost 9 hours of sleep. So that's again a massive find. And it's life-changing, honestly, since I've done that. And the funny thing is sometimes I get back into the bad habit of going to bed late. So I'm still really trying to work on that, of actually sleeping more than 8 hours. As the new year began, I had a couple of days to reflect, and reflection, being able to look onto your life, is something that only a king can afford. Only a king can reflect. Only somebody who is either already in control of himself completely or is gaining control of himself can afford to look upon oneself and see his life and see the direction and be able to, choose the habits, choose to do the habits and choose to leave the habits behind that don't support his desired direction moving forward. You can't cross an ocean with a bicycle. Sometimes you have some habits like NoFap that are very important for you to learn, to practice. It's like riding a bike, you know? You need to learn how to ride a bike. If you're a kid, you want to go to places. Let's say you live in a suburban neighborhood. And once you learn to ride the bike, it's like a great skill to have, and you will not really ever forget it. NoFap is similar in a way where you need to like get really involved in NoFap. You need to learn a lot of stuff about it. But once you master the basics of NoFap, you don't really need to worry about it after that at all. This is why there are so few NoFap YouTubers who are actually continuously uploading NoFap content on YouTube for years and years, because honestly, it doesn't really help you once you are through, let's say, 2 or 3 years of NoFap successfully without major relapses. It doesn't really help at all to think about NoFap. Even after a couple of months, if you got the hang of it, just forget about NoFap. This is the right mindset. Like once you actually become successful, you reach your first streak, that is your longest streak, and you don't have any urges, you will notice that your mind will wander through to new things, to new experiences, and you will be more adventurous, maybe even more social, and you'll just naturally start like leaving NoFap behind, and that is completely fine. Like, don't even worry about NoFap if you're not watching porn, if you don't have, these cravings. And actually overly worrying about NoFap and thinking about NoFap and talking about NoFap can lead to having urges. It can literally, just the fact that your mind is thinking about the practice of not watching porn, that can actually lead to urges. It's like, I'm telling you, like, you shouldn't think about, you riding a bicycle. You shouldn't think about a bike going through the ocean. Like, of course, you're gonna have to a little bit resist not thinking about the bike, not imagining it in your head, because I'm talking about it. So the same thing is true for porn. So that's why, there are times in my life as well where I'm like, okay, I don't have time for the business now. I can't afford to worry about this NoFap thing. I have to sort out moving to a new country. I have to sort out some, personal issues, like something like that, I just stop uploading, or I stop thinking about NoFap, and I very rarely go and discuss NoFap in other forums, especially the NoFap Reddit, which is a very hazardous place. It's full of people who are relapsing. So if you can do one thing to make your streaks better, is to avoid going to forums where people are struggling with porn. Like, for example, I created this channel. The mindset is not about like, I'm struggling with porn. Like, I'm actually showing you step by step on this channel and with the coaching as well, how to quit porn. And it's personalized, obviously, when we are doing one-on-one, but even on YouTube, like with the NoFap beginner series that I'm starting, it's like, I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. And now the responsibility will be on you. And getting control of your porn habit, of your compulsive porn use, is something that you are empowered by the information that I'm providing you. So it's not gonna be like, oh yeah, bro, just do like 2 minutes of cold shower every day. No, this is not that place. This is not that environment, okay? The final thing is listening to people, like how you listen to people, how you take people's advice, and listening to people that aren't your mentor. People who aren't your mentor, people who aren't in a situation where you want to end up in. And it might be that somebody is weird, like is taken aback when they hear that you don't watch porn, or when they see how easily you cold approach somebody. This is just personal experience. Like, I was at university. I was already on NoFap for a while. Actually, this is like right after I started YouTube, and we were just hanging out. I was doing a class where we did like a music bands. I can sing a little bit, and there were some guys who were playing the guitar, the drums, the piano, and we were hanging out after the session of making music, and hanging out, having some fun, doing some banter. Yeah, there was a beautiful girl. I immediately just said to her, "Hey, like, you got a very good style. Like, I like the way your stockings are." Like, she had some very beautiful, very, very stylish stockings. And it's like, these guys were looking at me like I'm some sort of like sex girl or something. Like, bro, no, I just don't watch porn. That's all. It's that easy, And they were taken aback. And so obviously I'm not going to learn from that. I'm not going to internalize that, because just because they were taken aback doesn't mean that it is correct what they are doing, just because they are the majority of people around me. Because look, everybody around you is probably watching porn, all right? Some people, and there are very few who don't need porn, they have other habits that are destructive in their life. And it's just, you don't need to listen to them. You don't need to take their reactions even, because they're probably not going to advise you to watch porn. Although I've had some crazy shit, something like that as well happen back in the day. But you don't need to pay attention or give value to their reactions. Don't internalize them, because NoFap is your advantage. If everybody would have been able to do it at this age, in the 2020s, like 90% of people are hooked on porn, of military age males, I would say, like 18 to 45 or something like that. I don't know what military age is. They're all hooked on porn. You being on NoFap is your advantage. Just don't give it up. Like, obviously they're gonna say like, oh, that's so weird, like, oh my god. And funniest thing is that porn is such a taboo topic that the people who are actually regularly and compulsively watching porn, they are too afraid to like really maul into you, to ask you to tear you down about your situation of being on NoFap, or of being away from porn. So yeah, don't listen to people who you don't want to end up like, and definitely don't listen to like this mass media brainwashing, which is like subtextually giving you these porn references. Like, it's all over pop media and pop culture, and obviously it's because it's in the culture. But the trick is to just be indifferent. Do not try to avoid these pop references of porn. Be indifferent to them, because as soon as you try to avoid and try to distance yourself from them, try to take a moral stand against them, that's the exact moment that you give power to it. As long as you just ignore it, it's not in your life. You just don't worry. Like, I listen to a bunch of shit that has porn references because I have a terrible music taste. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, it doesn't trigger me. I don't care. I like lyrical, like rap music and stuff. I listen to it. I know it's probably not the best thing, not the best habit, but I'm okay with it, I don't give power to this thing to trigger me. Because if I were to do that, I would just get urges each time I would listen to it. Like, what's the point of that? That music I like, it makes me feel good. And I don't let that little, like, one line in one song ruin my day. That's not how it works. So as long as you're dismissive about it, not purposefully ignorant, not like trying to not look. No, it's like, oh, it's there. Okay, cool. Just don't even worry about it. Yeah, that's it. It's out of your mind already. Yeah. So yeah, listening to people, listening to media, you hear it, but it's like it goes in this ear and it goes out the other ear. Just don't react. And one of the reasons I was mentioning, to avoid the NoFap forum and avoiding places like Instagram, like whatever, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, algorithmic bullshit, is important because, you know, people talk about lyrical porn and music. You see advertisements with like people in bikinis and shit. That's fine. But in these social media sites, porn is literally repeatedly pushed onto you, like softcore pornography, of course. Well, I hope, I don't know, because I don't browse these places, but it's literally pushed onto you, and then the algorithm senses that you maybe spend a little bit more time, or there's some different behavior in your scrolling when it's like a half-naked woman twerking, and then it will give you more and more and more. And so you will get urges because you're just trying to like look at something normal instead of that, and you keep having to scroll. Anyway, I mean, I found the solution. I found the perfect solution against this. You know, I used to have an Instagram. I still have. I didn't delete it, but I just deleted it off of my phone. Like, what the? I don't need Instagram. And, you know, maybe if I was like really seriously dating, maybe I would set up an Instagram profile, but, or maybe for the business one day, but it wouldn't really be on my phone, and I would probably just outsource it to someone, because I don't appreciate the way that Instagram steals people's attentions. It's one of the biggest causes of suffering in the first world. It's one of the biggest first world problems that we have. And the same can be said for Reddit, for YouTube. You know, disable the news feeds, disable the recommendations. You can turn off history on YouTube so you don't have these stupid recommendations. And I haven't read the news in like 4 years. Maybe there were some, you know, couple of times I checked it, maybe like 10 times in the past 4 years. Haven't really read it. I did not miss a single thing. Even like a couple weeks ago, I found out that there is gonna be like some taxing on cryptocurrencies. I still found it out. You know, it's a Hungarian government thing. Still found it out, never read it in the news. I've heard it by word of mouth from one of my friends. Simple. You don't need the news. It's like literally zero information lost that was crucial. Zero. Okay, and I'm not saying don't follow like industry news, right? So if you're in the trading world, if you're in politics, obviously you need the specific, if you're working there, or if you're like a massive fan of your hometown team, whatever, Manchester City or like the Chicago Bulls or something, sure, you can like be a fan and look at the website or something, but really you're not gonna miss out if you avoid the general news media outlets, because all they're doing is just triggering your anxiety, and so you literally feel worse each and every single time you open it. Same is true for the TV. This is my NoFap advanced findings and reflections for December, and I will hope to see you in January as well. I'll try to make the videos now maybe a little bit better quality as well, but yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy it. And if you made it this far and you have some comments of your own findings, I would like to hear it from you. Maybe I can do some reflections on that as well, answer your comments, and have a wonderful day. Coach Nick signing out.